The night was cold and rainy. Alexei was walking home from work, soaked to the bone. He lived alone in a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. The past few months had been hard, losing his job, debts, exhaustion. All he wanted was to lie down and forget everything, to stop feeling the emptiness, at least in his sleep. He threw his wet jacket onto a chair, put the kettle on, and, without even undressing, collapsed onto the bed. Through the sound of the rain came a faint whining, but the man didn't pay much attention. He thought the wind was playing with the door. He fell asleep almost instantly. He threw his wet jacket onto a chair, put the kettle on, and, without even undressing, collapsed onto the bed. Through the sound of the rain came a faint whining, but the man didn't pay much attention. He thought the wind was playing with the door. He fell asleep almost instantly. Alexei carefully sat up, trying not to wake the little one, and only then noticed that the bedroom window was slightly open. Apparently, the kitten had snuck in during the night, seeking shelter from the cold. At first, the man wanted to take it out to the stairwell. He had never kept pets, and he was barely making ends meet. But when he looked at the trembling creature, he realized he couldn't throw it out. He found an old towel, gently dried the kitten, poured some milk, and placed the bowl beside the bed. The little one hesitated at first, then approached and began to lap eagerly. Alexei suddenly realized he was smiling for the first time in many weeks. A day passed. By evening, the kitten was already running around the apartment, chasing shoelaces and purring at his feet. For the first time in a long while, the house felt alive and warm. Alexei named him Timka. But the real surprise awaited him the next morning. When he woke up, he found a small, slightly damp box by the door. Inside was a note, written in a child's handwriting. "Please take care of him. We can't keep him anymore, Mom is sick. He's very kind." Alexei sat there for a long time, staring at the note. In that moment, he understood the kitten hadn't come to him by accident. Timka was a reminder that even in the hardest days, someone can appear beside you who saves you, not with words, but with their warm, silent presence. From then on, Alexei never felt lonely again. Every evening when he came home, the first thing he did was call out, "Timka, I'm home." And the kitten, as if understanding that he had once saved not just a man but his heart, would run out to meet him, purring softly with happiness.